All right, folks, today we have the illustrious Jon Mellis, Jay Sixer, and Michelle Farrell, who I actually met at the Glenn Greenwald Surrounded at Jubilee. Welcome, guys.
Yes.
So, all right, let's pick this up from the beginning, okay? Jon, you're arrested, J6.
Yeah.
You want to walk us through all that?
All right. Yeah. So, I was arrested for January 6th. And a lot happened that day that the public doesn't know about, but a lot happened to us after that day that especially the public doesn't know about. Solitary confinement for years. I was locked up for 4 years. I got pardoned by Trump. Solitary confinement, first 2 years were the worst, and denied visitation for those 2 years as well. They actually came in on January 6th, 2023, the 2-year anniversary. A lady walks in and says, "Okay, you can sign your families up for visitation now." It was like a message to us.
Why were you in solitary?
Yeah. Well, they say COVID. They used to say COVID for everything, but the rest of the jail wasn't on the same restrictions. Wasn't on the same. They got visitation. The rest of the jail was one way. We were treated crazy and no outside rec for a very long time. I mean, it was probably over a year, I'm sure, before we actually went outside.
So this was you were arrested in Washington, D.C., or did you make it back home?
So I was in Virginia when I was arrested, and then they brought me to D.C. pretty quickly within a few weeks. We had our own pod in the D.C. jail. We called it the Patriot Pod.
Yeah.
And but we were all locked in our cells, single cells, single person per cell. And that was the first 2 years. The first year was 23-1, 23 hours a day in the cell, 1 hour out. And a lot of times we would miss that hour too. So we just get 24 hours a day. So you got an hour to take your shower, or make your phone calls, heat your coffee up if you have something like that. But use the microwave.
At that point, had they charged you with anything or no?
So yeah, I was charged, and then the indictments come later because they do grand jury stuff. But my situation was weird because I wasn't even given I wasn't even given a bond hearing for the first 2+ years. I actually started pushing for a bond hearing about 1.5 years in real hard, and they kept postponing it for different reasons. The prosecutor would ask the judge, "Hey, we need 90 days to do background checks on my character witnesses." These aren't character witnesses for sentencing. These are just character witnesses, like former sheriff of a town I grew up in. I mean, people who wrote a letter saying I'm good enough to get out on bond.
Yeah.
It's not a high bar, and it's not a very, they're not supposed to, they don't typically go through those people like that, but they wanted to do FBI background checks on 18. I think there was character witnesses that were written for me, and people that are good people, upstanding citizens.
So they did a background check on every single one of them?
Yeah, and these people don't need that kind. That's one of the little tactics that they would use to put a chill on any of us and our families and our community and people who wanted to witness for us. I mean, a perfect example would be with the Proud Boys, I'm also a Proud Boy, but there was a handful of us that were charged with seditious conspiracy. And they did not try to take over the U.S. government. They had plans afterwards to go party and hang out. They were, hungover from, night before drinking. You wouldn't do typically, but any of the witnesses to witness any of these things, plans they had after the rally or whatever, were basically threatened by the FBI that, we know you were there, and if you want to witness for these guys to make them look good. So my character witnesses in my bond hearing were given background checks. And then another 90, I actually had a private security firm I live in Nashville. I was from Nashville. So I was asking to be released back to Nashville. I had a private security firm willing to do daily check on me and then report to the court. Please. No.
So wait, walk me back.
The prosecutor wanted to do a background check on that guy and his company. And it's just weird because he has like law enforcement that work for him.
Yeah.
Federal contracts all over the place. And then the prosecutor wants to do a background check on him. And the judge always grants these 90-day continuances and goes on over 2 years. So I never got, and then finally the ending of it was basically the prosecutor told my lawyer, if I continue trying to get a bond or pushing for a bond hearing, that they would pull any negotiations for a plea offer. So basically, so
they just wanted to throw the book at you and
and make me plea out under duress. And that's weird because when you take a plea, you're pleading guilty. So you go in front of the judge and he asks you 100 questions. You're doing it of sound mind, and also were you threatened into making this plea? And it's like, I laughed, and the judge even laughed at that question. Are you under threat? And it's
Yeah.
yeah, I am with an unfair jury, a crazy prosecutor that's being an unfair lying person. And yeah, I'm being threatened for sure.
And what did the judge say?
Well, I didn't say that because
You
then
didn't say
they'll
like
throw
that.
the
You
deal
said-
out.
yeah.
But I laughed and he laughed because it's just the ridiculousness of the situation.
Yeah.
It's like, of course I'm being threatened into taking this plea deal. And then the other question is, are you promised a lighter sentence or are you being promised anything
Yeah.
to take this plea? And it's like, yeah, but you're not supposed to say yeah to that to the judge. So, you know, it's like, yeah, the system's kind of ridiculous. And, you know, I went to I was in the DC jail for 3 years and federal prison for a year. And the federal government has a pattern of screwing people over in many different aspects of the process, whether it's being arrested by the FBI and they lie, or whether it's the prosecutors lying in court, or whether it's, you know, any number of layers, even that lie or fabricate evidence or make things bad. The media works hand in glove to create a narrative also in any potential jury pool. But with us, every single mechanism that could have gone wrong, that not wrong either, because it's being weaponized. They're actually they're not messing up. They're doing exactly by design.
Yeah.
But every system that could have been weaponized against us was weaponized against us.
So walk me back. How did you hear about January 6th? What was your initial motivation? Because that's also part of the conversation that the media has completely obfuscated. They make it seem like everybody went there to overthrow the government. This was like pre-planned, and the idea that I get from most J6ers is it was just one big party, and you guys just happened to walk into the Capitol.
Yeah, I mean,
like people do every day. By the way, they go on tours throughout the Capitol.
or when people like Code Pink break the police line and storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Or the Palestinian protesters, they break the police line and storm the Capitol.
They do that. That happens often.
all the time.
Yeah.
In human history, the center of power is where people go to do crazy shit. And so it's not it happens all the time. I mean, the Democrats or the left bombed the Capitol building in the 80s.
Yep.
And the lady
by the
was
way,
pardoned by
Karen
Bill
Bass.
Clinton.
Karen Bass.
Karen
yeah,
Bass also was
Yeah.
involved
was
in
involved
that
in
back the day.
Yeah.
allegedly.
You mean Karen Basura, right?
Yeah, Karen Basura, the mayor of LA.
Yeah. Yeah, great communist lady.
Yeah.
No, terrible communist.
So tell me, how did you hear about J6 and what was your thought around it?
I started getting politically involved. So COVID hit earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And I worked in the service industry. I was a bartender and doing my thing in
This is in
downtown
Nashville?
Nashville. Yeah, downtown Nashville.
It's a big party town.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then COVID hits and I lose my job. So I, up until that point, I'd been very involved in community work, like volunteering 20, 30 hours a week at the senior center or any number of Ronald McDonald House Youth Special Olympics every year. Highway cleanup, park cleanup, different things. I was associated with the Chive,
And
a
you
couple
were a
of
Bernie
chapters
guy
of the
back
Chive.
then, right? A Bernie guy. You were,
No, I was not.
Oh,
No, I
you
was
were-
not.
you were a Trump
No,
person.
hell no. I was not a Bernie guy in 2020. I sadly was a Bernie bro in 2016.
Well, you and Joe Rogan, so it's
Yes,
okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
So I was red pilled 2 years into his first term. That's when I started to realize, the whole system's against this one guy.
Yeah.
That, by the way, the system loved him for decades. Hollywood loved him for decades. I live in West Hollywood now. And then all of a sudden, the system and Hollywood and the media turn against this one guy that they loved. He was their darling for decades. And he wasn't saying anything different. I mean, he said the same things on Oprah when Oprah loved him in the 80s or 90s that he was saying now. He wasn't saying anything different, but all of a sudden he's Hitler and he's terrible.
Right.
Yep.
It took me 2 years into his first term to realize, the system's the enemy. Real rock and roll is with Donald Trump, the middle finger to the system. Yeah. And that's why the system's so hard against him, is because he's their enemy. He's not a friend of the system.
I
Yeah.
always give him a hard time about that, though. It's the one thing I can.
Well, then what? J6? How'd you hear about it? Then you're in Nashville. You're a bartender.
So I lose my job.
You got all the.
Yeah.
What's the thing in Nashville? I'm sorry to rail a bit, but it's the bachelorette parties, right?
Yes, it is the bachelorette party capital of the world.
Yes.
And so I work downtown, and man, there's like bridal parties, bachelorette parties. They always got the one chick wearing like a white veil or whatever, and they're all like ready to get drunk and have a good time and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was great being like, I actually enjoyed serving better than bartending, because I can have like, each table is my own universe.
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun, lot of fun in Nashville. But I lost all of that when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And the community service or the volunteering kind of had to stop too, because all society just gets weird.
Yeah, all of it collapsed.
Everything got weird. And so I just took a few months in the middle of the year to just hike the wilderness all across the country. So I went, the Badlands or Black Rock Desert. I mean, everywhere from the East Coast to the West Coast. I was just all sorts of places, and it was amazing. It was really, I found myself spiritually. It was a great for my soul. But then at the end of the year, toward election, I started getting politically involved, like local Republican Party, and settled more in Virginia, and lost my train of thought.
You're getting involved in Virginia with politics and J6. That's how. How did you hear about J6?
All right, so I got more politically involved towards the end of the year, and started attending local Republican Party. Joined several committees, membership outreach. What is it?
Like
candidate recruitment and
stuff.
support. Candidate recruitment and
Yeah.
support. Those kinds of things.
It's like grassroots activism.
Yeah. So I wanted to figure out how that stuff worked, and then I started going to these rallies. So I just went to a bunch of like car parades, those Trump train where everybody's honking the horns, got the American flags.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and then a party afterwards, have a fun time. But then I went to all 3 rallies in DC, which was November, December, and January 6th. So I
So leading into J6, did you know that there were?
We went there to take over the U.S. government and to hang all of the politicians. That was the plan originally, but we got drunk the night before and we forgot what we were supposed to do.
You guys got hungover,
Yeah, we forgot the guns. We forgot.
You partied a little too hard.
We forgot all the guns, weapons.
Remember the tacos though?
We got the I had pizza in my little backpack thing and some Powerades. I figured that was good enough.
You had pizza in your backpack?
Yeah, so you see my little backpack. Yeah, I had like a cowboy hat on, but I had my little backpack. And because I was at a rally, and I was like, so I filled up with like pizza and hot dogs and Powerades. And like, that was my insurrection, supply.
Yeah.
But no, for real though, it's really ridiculous being a Proud Boy and have like my best friends in the world were accused of trying to take over the U.S. government.
Yeah.
And having such a close seat to them, watching what they went through. Like, I thought it was bad what they were putting me and the other J6ers through, just being, charged, overcharged, felonies for everything, no bond, all the crap, bad press, all the things. You just, solitary confinement, torture, all the things. I thought what they did to me was bad, but my, Proud Boy, brothers that were being accused of seditious conspiracy, that is just so ridiculous to imagine that they tried to do that because, like, they didn't do it. It's so stupid. So these guys are so much so intelligent and so funny and fun. And
I've met some of these guys. They're great.
Yeah. And they're not the type that if they were going to try to if Proud Boys, if we were going to try to take over the U.S. government, it would have not gone that way. It wouldn't have been. There would have been much more preparation. There would have been much more probably coordination with the government or something.
I'm sure that the military would have done. We have the most powerful military in the world. So this is the impression I get.
We would have had to coordinate with the military. But there was none of that. So I don't know.
This is the impression I get of a lot of J6ers. They're just free-spirited, like fun guys that are very passionate about this. They're patriots, right? And I mean, you guys are obviously, you have your principles just like everybody else in the conservative movement. And it doesn't seem like you were there to overthrow the government.
No.
Because the whole thing is, like you said, it would have to be a larger conspiracy. You'd have to go there with actual weapons. You'd have to be ready to take action. And we have the most powerful military in the world.
Yeah.
They would know it beforehand. They would be like, okay, we'll just get you at the hotel.
It was to stop the steal. I was going to go. I wanted to go. Am I equipped to take over a government? I was going to go there. I was going to be one of those people like, yay.
Yeah.
We were there to support Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm so envious that you were there. I hate that he served jail time, but I would have given anything to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to go. I don't know if did you want to go?
No, I was in LA at the time.
But
I was like stuck here.
I was dying to go.
Yeah.
I was so sad that I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And then I heard about what happened. I'm like, I was watching it live on TV. It was such a trip. I don't know if you were watching it live.
I watched it live. I watched it on Twitter when they took down.
I was on Newsmax watching Newsmax.
They took down. To me, the craziest thing about it was I remember there was a lot of pressure. He won't say anything. Trump's not saying anything. He puts out a statement saying, "Hey guys, just go back home." Twitter deletes it within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And
what?
when he
did
got
the
his
thing.
Twitter back years later, recently, when he got his Twitter back, the last tweets were, everybody go home, be peaceful, respect law enforcement.
Exactly.
One fun fact.
And they
what-
put a whole thing, a whole show trial with the J6 committee based on he didn't do that or
Yeah.
that he was encouraging some violence.
Exactly.
The BBC manufactured
Oh,
the-
they did.
the
They
speech
cut
to make it
everything
look like
out.
he said something he didn't.
Well, at the time, it was such a coordinated thing because I downloaded that video. When I saw it got taken out, I actually reposted it, and they took my Twitter account down for reposting it.
And that's a whole other thing. But I wanted
Censorship,
To,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to say something about that. What time? This is what a lot of people don't know. It's a fun fact about J6. What time were you back in your hotel?
Oh, so we
People don't know
abided by
this.
the curfew as well. That's another thing about the insurrection.
But the
we were
time.
so
The insurrection.
We were such insurrectionists that we abided by the 6:30 curfew.
6:30 p.m.
So we were back.
Law-abiding
They went back
lawbreakers.
to
That's
their
what.
To be fair, I broke the curfew and I went back out and walked around the Capitol building alone and stuff. But because
that
I'm a
was
rule
cool,
breaker
but
by
that was-
nature.
yeah.
Well, like you said,
was no
MAGA,
one
not
out.
just J6ers. I think about what you just said. J6ers are kind of a potent example of what MAGA is in general.
Yeah.
Because you've got some of the most diehard MAGA show up in D.C. Everybody's last chance to see President Trump. Hopefully, get Pence to send back to those 7 states to get audited. Hopefully, that's what we were asking for that day. But it was our last hurrah. And then something happens. Now I got to tell your audience, especially you already know, when we showed up at the Capitol building, there was scheduled speeches and permitted speeches and stuff there. So we marched from the Washington Monument over to the Capitol.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And so when we get over there, the cops start shooting rubber bullets from an elevated position, flashbangs, stingable grenades, spraying people for no reason, and just going crazy on the crowd. And that's why we freaked out on the west side. On the east side, the cops opened the doors and let everybody in. So on the east side of the building, they let everyone in.
interesting.
On the west side, they started attacking us, and that's why we freaked out through the double barrel middle
Why,
fingers
do
up
you
and
know why
stormed the
that?
building.
Do you know why that was? Why they were attacking on one side but not the other?
I don't know. I mean,
Because the other
it's
side,
more
they were letting
open.
him in. That's why.
No, that's what he's asking. So it may be because there's more surface area for them to cover on the east side, maybe because the east side is facing the Supreme Court, and I think it's just like a wide open plaza thing. I think, or
Gotcha.
like it's. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they were like, we can't. They
No, were
didn't have
trying to
enough
break the
cops there.
doors down. They were
So
lining
I
up.
actually met
And that's the thing
Chief
that
Sund in
Nancy
an after
Pelosi
party.
actually cut back that was also
So I had
Trump had asked for extra.
I had a chance to ask Chief Sund, the chief of police, chief of Capitol Police.
Yeah.
I met him at an after party last year at CPAC, and I had him. I was able to talk to him and actually talk to him. We were having a drink, and I was like, man, I just have a couple of questions I gotta ask,
Yeah.
And it was understaffed. Wasn't it understaffed there, huh? And he said, yeah, it was understaffed.
Yeah.
They were understaffed.
scared.
Trump requested, I was going to say earlier, Trump offered 10,000 National Guard to protect the Capitol
Yeah.
days before. And the mayor and Nancy, they all said, no, they all wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
The pipe bombs were planted by a lefty. And if the riot didn't happen the way they wanted it to, the spark off, they would have went with the pipe bomb narrative. So we had, they had a fallback plan.
They had narratives on narratives. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were ready. So if we didn't take the bait with the riot, I'm proud of us for taking the bait, honestly. We took the bait and you got me, and you took 4 years of my life, but you'll never be able to take away the cathartic joy I felt that day.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
What
So
about us watching at home, though?
So here's my point.
Cathartic joy. I was so happy.
And here's my point with the crowd of people. These crowd of people show up in D.C., and then something happens at the Capitol and a bunch of people decide to climb the building and go in.
Yeah.
Those people that go to the front of that crowd are I took off work to go there.
Yeah.
And my buddies on the job site, I was working landscaping after, as COVID ran down. And my buddies on the job site were like, they heard they were storming the Capitol, and they knew immediately Jon is not on the grass, in the back of it. If there's something, he's there. In
Were
the
you
middle.
there jumping over?
I
or-
climbed on the inaugural stage. Yeah, I was up on the inaugural stage. My first reaction when I saw the police line get broken was, I want to climb up there too, because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
And I want to smoke weed where the president puts his hand on the Bible and takes the oath of office.
course.
I want to smoke weed right there. So I go up there and I smoke. And I also noticed that there's a hallway right there with flashing lights and an alarm, and it's the fire alarm. And there's something going on in there,
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a crowd of fully armored, shielded, masked cops,
Yeah.
riot gear. And there's on the other side, there's the protesters, and we're trying to get in. And it it was a big middle finger to the system for a lot of reasons, not just for attacking us that day. The cops, if the cops would have stepped aside, we would have walked past them and never touched them or pushed them. But the fact they were standing in the way. So with the left-wing riots or when they get out of control, they are targeting the cops.
Yeah.
The cops could move out of the way and they're still going to follow the cops and attack the cops, throw bricks. So it's like, we were pushing up against the cops and trying to fight to get in. But it was like, it wasn't directed at the cops. It was directed at the building behind them.
I want to just say one thing about his website, like about that exact
wearegoodmen.com.
That website has a scene, and I didn't know this either. He shared his videos when I first met him, and you can see the immense amount of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize it was just they were packed in there. And then when cops would get in the middle of it, especially him, he's like, "We're the good guys.
Yeah.
We're the good guys. We're not going to hurt the cops."
Oh, yeah. Well, cops would come out into the crowd.
Yep.
Like Fanone. I was right next to Fanone. I took video of Fanone. And that's what she's saying. I'm yelling, and other people are yelling like, let him go, send him back, don't hurt him, protect him.
Yeah.
And nobody in the crowd's trying to rip him apart.
He was getting
Everybody's protecting him. And there's other cops in that footage too that are being protected. So it's like when the cops would fall into the crowd, we're not ripping them apart. We're like, we actually, it was weird. I'll tell your audience something that not a lot of people talk about. Yeah, I'll tell you about something not a lot of people talk about. So on the inaugural stage, there's that hallway. It's called the tunnel. And the inaugural stage, the legal term is the lower west terrace. That's what they call it. So on the inaugural stage, there's the hallway in the middle that we were in. But down, like, if you're looking at the hallway down to the right, there's like a compartment. I don't know what. So they're building this stage on the Capitol to do the inauguration. I don't know if it's for cameramen or tech or whoever, but it's this little box that you can open this door. You can open this door and go in this little compartment. It's a little room, like the size of 6 by 6.
Yeah.
And I'm on there and I open that door and there's like 3 cops in there. It was like our little cop jail we created.
They're like waiting.
It was so funny. I was like, "What is going on in here?" I was like, "Why is there?" They're just standing there. They're like, "Fuck, well, like we got captured by the Sixers." It was like capture the flag or something. It was weird. So it was like a little cop jail we created.
What about Fanone? Tell him about Fanone.
Yeah, Fanone was being protected by the crowd.
He's such a jerk.
Yeah, and then he pretended to be asleep when we handed him back up to the officers in the hallway. As soon as
for somebody at home may not know who Fanone is, he was a cop. Officer Fanone.
A Metro Police, not Capitol Police. He was a Metro cop, DC. And he showed up on scene and pushed himself right through the cops in that hallway and out into the crowd on purpose. He literally walked himself out into the crowd. The guy that he's pushing backwards, the J6er that he's pushing backwards, actually says, I'm gonna try to protect you when we get out here. Like, he's pushing this guy backwards, and the guy knows we're gonna go. This cop is coming with me. We're going into the crowd.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm gonna try to protect you when we get out there. And Fanone says, thank you. And then his camera goes off for 3 seconds and then turns back on. So a lot of people don't know there's a second body cam footage of Fanone because it pops right back on. I think he tried to turn it off or something, but it pops right back on. And then you hear everything jostling around, and then you hear people ask him if he's okay, and then we get him back into the hallway. Once we hand him back into the hallway, he pretends to be asleep and hits the ground, and they're like, you hear the camera, officer down, and he's got his arm. The problem is he keeps reaching his arm to try to turn his camera either on or off, whatever he thinks. He's grabbing, and they carry him face down, and you see his arm is dangling, and he's reaching up and trying to turn his camera, whatever. And then you see his head come down and his eyes open a few times, and he looks around. So and this dude gets this and then you watch the camera, by the way, and you'll see him walk himself. He wakes up, he walks out a mile about, you gotta go. The Capitol's a big building. He goes out to the street and he gets checked out by a medic, and the medic completely fine, checked out, good. He said, you don't have no. He tells the guy we were kicking him in the head. He never went down on the ground. He was standing upright the whole time.
Yeah.
So he's just a piece of shit.
Let's plug Kara Castanova. She's formerly from Newsmax, works for Lindell TV. Recently, she approached him. I guess Fanone was in at another trial or something in the White House, and she walks, or it was in the Capitol, and she comes up to him and was like, questioning him about all this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out about it, because John's like, I go, who is our friend? Like, who is she interviewing? And he was telling her, arguing with her, but I don't remember what the exchange was.
He's just a low IQ.
He's such a scumbag.
He wanted his 15 minutes, and You know, and now he's no longer a police officer. I think they gave him a job for a short time at CNN.
And he wrote a book.
Something like that.
He wrote a book.
He was on the cover of Newsweek. He's so cool. But
So, quick question. I know Chip Roy was doing an investigation to see if there were FBI agents embedded. Do you think there were from
they said
everything
there's
you saw?
274
Yeah.
undercover agents in the crowd. And what's crazy is that number 274 was not the number, the official number we were given while the Biden administration, while Trump was gone. It took Trump coming back for them to okay. Well, they said 28.
Yeah,
they
that's
said it was
what they
only
initially
28 in the whole crowd of hundreds of thousands. And then Trump comes back in office, and they're like, no, there's actually 274.
Yeah.
And
did you see people purposely agitating like that? Like it could be an agent trying to.
There's video. What do you mean at the Capitol?
No, so
Well, of
no,
course,
so
but at the
I
Capitol.
I see so I see
Well, Office Epps. What is it, Roy?
well Ray Epps, but
Ray
no,
Epps.
what did I see? I saw there were people on the inaugural stage that were wearing all black and not chanting the same things the same time as we were chanting. You could
They look like
funny
an op.
colored hair, like
Somebody look like an op.
like an Antifa, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
something like that. You know, a backpack full of Riot stuff. Like, why would you have the backpack full of Riot stuff unless you were planning on doing something weird?
Yeah.
And you don't look like a Trumper. You and
Yeah.
your girlfriend are both like wearing all black. You look like goths. I mean, which is cool. We have MAGA goths and stuff, but like, you know, typically when you go to a Trump rally, you see, you know what I mean, a lot of American flag, red, white, and blue. But, you know, so there was a lot of weird stuff like that. But afterwards, so we were in the jail, guys get arrested, and there's guys with paperwork. And there are interviews with the FBI. Said, yeah, I'm a communist, and I, you know, wanted the Trump supporters to get shot, which is, what's his name? They call him Trash Can. His nickname was Trash Can. So I hope it's out there somewhere. You guys can see what is his name. But yeah, so he was a communist. He admitted. There was another guy that was admitted to Antifa. So there's several different scenarios like that. So there definitely was agitators in the crowd. But yeah, no, when we showed up that day, I got to tell you why I was proud of storming the Capitol.
Yeah.
My idea was I felt like we were gonna, you know, fill up the building, and you know, the Congress was removed quickly, and nobody.
They were out of there in a second. I think
As soon as it got weird and people are climbing, I know they're getting Congress out. Like they're not leaving. We're not going to catch any of these guys.
I think there's video that shows Nancy Pelosi wasn't even on the ground as he was doing the speech. She was already somewhere else removed.
Yeah.
Like she knew that, you know.
So
They all act like dramatic.
So so that's that. So
Yeah.
What did you nudge me about? What's up?
AOC was.
AOC saying, I remember she said that.
Off track.
AOC did say that she was, I guess she felt terrified, but she was all the way on the other side of the building, right?
No, I think she was in a different building.
A different building altogether.
Yeah.
She wasn't even in the
I
area.
think she was below now, and they got her out quickly. She was there, and then they took her away.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So, so the reason why I was proud of us was because the cops shot at us first, and we were responding, but we had a year of COVID tyranny.
Yeah.
COVID shut our society down and did weird things we never thought we could imagine. And there was decades before that. It was just decades of ineffectual leadership, whether it's Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. We're still building this bloated bureaucratic machine. It never gets smaller, always taking more freedoms, whether it's 9/11 and the Patriot Act, or whether it's the big bailout with the banks get bailed out and the little guy gets screwed, lose their house. So, you know, we've got all of this building up, and then we finally get one guy to get in there, Trump, one guy, and then they stole it from us.
Yeah.
And there was shenanigans during that election, but even without the fraud of the ballots, the censorship, the lies, the narrative spinning of the mainstream media was just so relentless, and it's just not fair for a real election. If you're really trying to get to know candidates, truly, the propaganda of the mainstream media is just so vicious and unfair.
One-sided.
So, you know, we show up and then we get shot at and blown up. I would have been ashamed of us if we'd have tucked tail and walked away. I'm so proud of us that we said, you know what, fuck you, because I say this all the time. There's nothing more rock and roll than a middle finger to the system. And there's no bigger middle finger to the system than Donald Trump and January 6th. You know, it's just, we don't, We play by the rules all the time. Republicans, we and I don't like that term Republican. I'm MAGA. We stole the Republican Party right now, but the Republican, you know, we go out and protest, and they say, don't get off the curb, stay in that area where you protest. And we, you know, yes, we're gonna abide by all the rules. We're not gonna burn your city down. The left burns your city down, and they get everything they want. You know, they get everything they want. They defund the police. They put cops in jail after they riot. They burn a city down. Cops get arrested. The protesters get money. They sue the government for, like, BLM got arrested. Like, they had some guys get arrested in the summer of 2020. Brandon Fellows knows a lot more about this. He studied a lot of these, but it was like DC, I believe it was. There's only a couple anyway got arrested for a couple of days, and they get like $20,000 per day in a lawsuit. So like they get bank for getting arrested for breaking a business or burning a fucking convenience store down. It's weird. And so we follow the rules all the time. And the last point I want to touch on is when I got there that day, everyone forgets that the night before was the runoff election in Georgia. So we had two guys running, Ossoff and Warnock, or whatever, our guy and what is it, Purdue maybe, or Loeffler. I forgot who it was, but the same thing that happened in the election a couple months earlier happened on January 5th, the day before January 6th in Georgia. Our guy was winning all night.
And then all of a sudden,
and then it flips. So then we go to January 6th. A few hours later, we go to the rally in the morning, and everybody's like, yo, we just lost the Senate for the next 4 years, so they can push through whatever they want, you know, because that was one vote over majority. And we're just like, I mean, people were pissed. I mean, I was pissed. We were talking specifically about what we just talked about with the left rioting and getting everything they want. And I was down for honestly, I was so pissed off. I was like, do we need to spark it off in the city? Like, is that what we need to do? Because they do it all the time. I'm like, what do we do? I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with your audience. If people would have started doing that, I would have went with it. I was pissed. And I was like, what do we do? And, you know, to another point you said about MAGA or about J6ers and I having like this spirit, MAGA in general to me, and especially Proud Boys, we have this special middle finger in our spirit. That's like, fuck authority. Like, stop telling me what to do. Stop controlling my life. Let me live, you know? And, you know, that was that spirit. And, you know, I'm just, you know, storming the Capitol was part of that, was you keep pushing and we're going to push back. And I'm glad Trump came back. God bless you, President Trump. And
well, that's what you're describing is very much like part of the American spirit, because that's how the country started. When you think about it, it was a revolutionary war against tyranny, right? That's been the fabric of this country. I think that it's just expressed in different ways. You're expressing something. Boston Tea Party. So on the right, it's always more principled, and it's with love of country. That's why you guys are like concerned about the police officers. On the left, they just want to tear down the system. They don't care. They don't care about anybody. They're even fighting within themselves. They can't figure out who would be a good leader or what a good philosophical position would be for them. So I think
the censorship, though, the censorship during, like he was saying, they were so angry about all the stuff that happened before January 6th. It wasn't just rebels, because he's like rock and roll, whatever. Dude. It was every person that saw the corruption. I mean, you could see it on Twitter. In fact, Trump had it was like 289 million on Twitter. Biden had like 22 million. And he won. He got 80 million votes, more than
Obama. Yeah, that's always been a question.
He had 8 people in bubbles at his rallies. And Trump had, 50,000.
And did you love how every time they would find new ballots or like, it was always favoring one side. It's just like every time they find, it's just like with the ballots or with the number, it always goes one direction whenever they find new ballots. But it's also with the media. Anytime the media has to be corrected or fact checked, it's always in one direction. They always lie to the left. They lie.
That? Misinformation.
They lie to the left every single time. They lie. They just make up stuff about Trump and they always have to walk it back. It's never the other way. There's never like a good story about Trump that's actually not true that the media reported on. They're always favoring one side.
But when Elon bought Twitter and became X.
They banned me from Twitter. So Elon, you need to fix that.
I'm banned on Twitter too. You're banned?
I know. Real rebels.
We both got to get our Twitter accounts back. I don't think I'm getting mine back. I think I pissed off. So I made a joke that went kind of viral. I made fun of one of his baby mamas, and it went kind of viral.
I love that.
Oh,
so that's
really?
great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I made fun of Grimes. So
Let's get
Grimes.
it back.
I don't
Let's
think
do
I'll
it.
ever get it
man.
back.
But the thing,
I love
I
that.
want to say though,
Elon, come on,
and
man.
I know, right?
Kicked off
Bros
X.
before
Oh, yeah,
hoes,
I tried
Elon.
to
Bros
find you.
before hoes, man.
Remember, I tried to find him on X this morning. I was going to tag you. In that post I
Oh,
just
I'm
did
not on X.
yesterday.
In fact, I would not tweet anything about me. There are people that have posted about me on X, and they get banned. Or they get their posts
Oh,
deleted.
my
that's
God.
awesome.
That's how much
man.
he hates me.
Come on, man.
Well, let me
Bros
explain
before
something
hoes,
though. The
Elon.
one thing that I'm happy about though is that when he bought it, all of the illegal government activity,
Yeah.
getting involved with shutting people's accounts down,
Yeah.
President Trump's account being shut down.
That was
These
insane.
are things I cannot believe that whether people think that Biden won, I can't believe people think Biden won, but whatever.
Oh, I don't think
He
he won.
supposedly
Yeah, I think-
won. Why on the planet would, okay, say he won, but when you find out all the corruption between his government colluding with Twitter,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy that the government would send a message to the owner of Twitter
Well, they did a lot of this with
and
COVID
say,
too.
They
close
did,
down
yeah.
this tweet, misinformation. So you guys are the gods of our free speech.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why
Well, that's
people weren't
specifically
more
what the
angry.
founders like didn't want.
But that's
Oh, yeah.
why they did what they. I mean, this is the reason they did this. It's like we've had enough.
Yeah.
We've had enough, and I think now. I mean, we can get into now, but I think that way more needs to be done. We need
Yeah.
to get this guy elected. By the way,
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, please elect Dennis Faitosa.
Dennis for
Thank you.
Congress, man. Yeah. No,
wait,
it's-
John. So wait, you're from Nashville. How did you make it out to LA? What was when you were? So actually, before we get to that, walk me through your pardon process. How did that play out? Was this before or after you were released from jail?
So yeah,
prison?
so I get out. So I got arrested pretty quickly in February, right after January 6th. I did. I got sentenced to 51 months, so I get out right before the election. So I did 85% of it, which is like 43 months or something. Get out right before the election, and this is a weird part of the story is I was arrested a month later by the state of Virginia because I got released. I went to Virginia. And I was arrested again. I was raided in the middle of the night. I wasn't there, but my friend was. I was staying at my friend's house, and he's got cameras all over the property. And people were trying to break into his house, crowd of people, and they weren't identifying themselves. He gets his gun and his boxers and goes out. He's got, and he almost got crazy. But he had to yell to them like, "Who the fuck is banging on my door?" Like they're like, "It's the cops," And so he puts the gun down. But I turned myself in the next day, and apparently, so. When I was 21 years old, I received my first felony, my first drug charge, and I received 10 years in prison for that. 20 years with 10 suspended. Educated myself for 10 years, read hundreds of history books, dozens of college textbooks. My dad worked for the military or the government, and he would send me think tank reports and things. I would read these, devour these, annual reports for the IMF, World Bank. I mean, just really educated myself for 10 years. Got out, 3.5 years in Nashville, built a great life, volunteering, doing my thing. Off probation years before January 6th, wasn't even worried about it. I go to January 6th, get arrested, do 4 years. I get out a month later and being arrested because way back in 2008, for the 10-year prison sentence charge that I put way behind me, there was a fine print, good behavior for life, which isn't even legal in Virginia anymore. So we've had to fix that. But they arrest me. I'm in jail for the election, a week before election, and then a week after election. I get out on bond. So I'm on federal probation. So I'd been sentenced to 51 months, federal probation for 3 years, and like a $22,000 fine. So I still have to deal with the probation for 3 years and the fine. And I'm also on bond for the state of Virginia.
Yeah.
And then I get pardoned first day in. I get pardoned. So the J6 felony goes away, but I've still got to deal with this violation of good behavior.
Yeah.
So a couple of months in, the prosecutor and the judge, they throw it out. I go into court because without the felony from J6 being pardoned, there's no violation.
Yeah.
So I was lucky. So really, being
So he
pardoned
like basically saved your life.
He did literally save my life, even though I already did my J6 sentence. I was going to. I'll tell him. Yeah.
Because
so
we met at CPAC, and he had been out for how long at that time?
a couple months.
Only a couple months he'd been out.
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe like a month into our relationship, and we were thinking, oh, this could go somewhere. And he says, by the way, I need to let you know something.
Facing
I'm like,
10 years in prison.
What would that be? And then he says, I'm facing the 10 years. I'm like, what? So when we went to court, I was with him in Virginia when this happened.
Yeah.
The judge came out. Thank God, she was a cute blonde. She had a little hair, a little ponytail, and she comes out, and we're just sitting there like he could get another 10 years. And this is crazy, by the way. I don't think people realize about what you went through, but
We should do an ex parte with her
and
sometime.
this really cute judge, she's like, whatever she said, but then she said, Mr. Mellis, charges are dropped. Thank you for your service. And I was like, she's MAGA, yes. And so he got off of that, but I could not believe that good behavior for life. Who can even? I mean, anyone could do. You could do something wrong.
Yeah.
You get a DUI. Anything.
And it doesn't matter
weird.
what state you're in, kind of thing. It's
Anything.
weird.
So it's federally.
You could be from
anything.
Virginia, so
It applies federally.
I
That's
could
crazy.
get a DUI 20 years from now
crazy.
in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And so we're having that has to be amended because that's not even a law anymore in Virginia.
It's
Yeah.
not even
They're
a law anymore.
Yeah, they don't even do it anymore. They're like
And you got-
lifelong because
you
it's so
almost
crazy.
faced it on
That's not
tape.
that's not a real
yeah.
thing. That's for like child molesters and sex offenders and like career criminals.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
this
what's
is
typically,
why-
but like it
this
was my
is
first
why,
felony,
John,
my first drug charge. They
This
give me.
is why we travel the
weird-
world, him and I. You guys see us in all the countries everywhere. And we actually do promote prison reform, justice, criminal justice reform.
Yep. Dangers of
Because
communism.
20
Yeah.
years for his first, I hate to say it, he was selling drugs in college. But he wasn't doing it for that long. And for his dad was a double Purple Heart, Silver Star.
Yeah.
Why on the planet would you get 20 years? His son was born not even a year into his first, 10 years. He has a 17-year-old beautiful son who's like
Yeah.
6 foot tall.
Yeah.
He's blonde. He's a gorgeous. His ex is really pretty, Ukrainian beautiful lady. But son's beautiful. He's got a 17-year-old son that he didn't get to raise for the.
Yeah, he
first
actually
10
kind of looks
years.
like you, but he's blonde, blue-eyed. He's tall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where were you
know
17
what?
years ago?
He is such.
I
a
have
good
something
kid.
to tell you, John.
It's just like I'm just
It's
turned
really
into an
hard.
episode of Maury just
No,
now.
but I mean,
It's Jerry
John,
Springer or something.
You're 39 years old. I'm so proud the fact we both have kids the same age. My daughter is 18, goes to amazing school, Pepperdine. Yay, Trinity. She was also valedictorian last year. But it's hard for me to even stomach what he went through because he has a tattoo that you can't see it with his Barabbas men's clothes on. Beautiful shirt.
Barabbas. Woo.
Barabbas men. He's got a tattoo of his brother, Christopher Mellis, who was in a DUI. He didn't have a DUI, a drunk driver.
Drunk
hit him.
driver killed him. Head-on
And
collision.
that's
Sorry to
what
hear
the
that.
first
A
year
month
into
after
prison.
I got sentenced to 10 years in
His
prison,
best friend.
my best friend, my little brother, gets killed by a drunk driver.
Beautiful kid.
And then,
God
like, what, a
damn.
couple of months after I get arrested for J6, my other best friend, my dad, dies. So, and they didn't let me go
And
to
they
the
put him in
funeral.
the hole.
Yeah,
for
they
that.
actually put me in the hole. I was already on
Almost broke
solitary
his feet
confinement.
from
Yeah.
They
kicking
moved me to the hole
metal.
so that I would be in a
His feet are messed up.
just for a
kicking the
day.
metal.
For a day, they put me in the hole just to give me that because my lawyer put in like an emergency thing to let me go to the bond, like an emergency bond, which we won't go to court to get the bond hearing.
Yeah.
He'll just he's asking the judge to do it in his chambers. And by putting me in the hole, it gave me like a classification of like I'm in like a different classification in the jail, not just in the pod. I'm in like
To
maximum.
rob you of going to
So then
bond.
the
Yeah.
judge is like, no,
But
yeah.
the saddest thing
And then they
is
put me right back in the pod. So they moved me just for 24 hours and then put me right back in.
when
That's
you-
so evil.
So weird.
Just so you couldn't go to your dad's
And the jail
funeral?
couldn't even explain to me why they kept saying the only thing I could get from the jail or the sergeant, lieutenant was that it was the marshals because the marshals are in trouble. The marshals called, and I think his name was Harrington even. I'll throw him out there under the bus. They said some kind of Marshal Harrington was the one that called us up and told us to put you in the hole.
But I don't,
Is
I
it
didn't
no
know that they
explanation?
allowed you when
And-
you're in prison to go to a funeral. I didn't know that they allowed that. But the part that broke my heart is when you went to Christopher's funeral. I'm thinking, here he is. He's getting 20 years. He's doing 10 of the 20. He's going to his little brother's a month after being locked
Yeah.
up. And
So
he
the
gets to
judge in
be
that
free
case
for one
gave me a
day.
furlough for my.
Can you imagine though being at your little brother's funeral?
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing that right after this, you have to go back to prison.
Yeah, I get drove back to the jail and,
And
do my 10-year
you're
prison
out
sentence.
for a day out in freedom at a funeral.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the torture that you must have gone through.
Yeah, no,
Just
I know.
knowing
I
I'm
almost
going
ran.
back in for another 9.
My parents had everybody
and a
like
half
watching me,
years.
make sure I didn't
So
run
you didn't
off.
run.
Like, but can you
Everybody was
imagine
like, "John's gonna run."
knowing you're
They were
out
like,
free
"John's
with
gonna
these
run."
people,
Hey,
you're
real
going
quick, guys,
back.
you see that?
I gotta use
I
the
mean,
bathroom.
I can't believe though what you've been through, and you're so nice.
Climb out the window.
He's such a nice guy. I don't know. I don't know how my roots.
Well,
would have
so
been
here's
down
the
to
thing.
here.
I'm a wild
I
man,
could never
you know.
survive.
Well, yeah,
I'm kind
you-
of
the way-
hyper. I had high energy.
Yeah.
I'm hyper. I'm a disruptor. I love the middle finger thing. I love I love laughing. I love having a good time. I troll. I love trolling. I love being, to
You
laugh.
never turn negative or mean or
Well,
I don't
so I was a wild youngin, and I was like selling drugs in college like a retard and doing the whole thing and just being, wild and out. And so the 10 years in prison did surprising. I'm sure it would surprise you. It did chill me out a little bit, which is crazy because I'm really I'm hyperactive. But imagine if I didn't go.
Though. You have every right to go wild, go crazy,
but without
travel, do whatever you want.
Without that 10 years,
whatever you want,
the 4 years of torture. Yeah. I mean, really, the 4 years, the first 2 were torture for sure. But that experience, I don't think I would have been able to. My free spirit self would not have been able to handle that 4 years if it weren't for the 10 that tempered me a bit.
Can you tell them about your podcast you did? This is so badass.
So 2 years
in prison.
So during the 4 years for J6. In the DC jail for 3 years and federal prison for a year. While I'm in the DC jail, about 2 years in, we had fought so hard for access to see our legal discovery. So we were getting all these videos and things used against us, but we can't see them. Mm-hmm. So we want, our lawyer finally, after a lot of pressure, about 2 years in, the jail gives us access to a laptop for the pod. Severely restricted, doesn't have Wi-Fi or anything. But we could get a flash drive from our lawyer with our legal stuff, and we could put it in and look at our video. The videos are, but they forgot to disable the camera on the laptop.
Yes.
So I secretly filmed the podcast inside the DC jail.
What did you have behind
15 episodes. 15 episodes. Each one's about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. My Rumble channel, my website is wearegoodmen.com, but my Rumble channel is We Are Good Men on Rumble.
So good.
And it's 15 episodes, hour and a half, 2 hours long. I have a co-host. There's 3 of us sitting. I'm in the middle, be my co-host to be on my left, and then the other guy we were interviewing. And behind us, we had made a Betsy Ross American flag out of a bed sheet.
It's amazing.
Colored pencils.
With pencils. It's so good. It's so good.
And then in the table in front of us, put a white sheet over it and had books, the Bible, the Constitution, Jordan Peterson,
Trump's
1984,
mugshot.
and a big Trump's mugshot right in the middle. Yeah. So it was really good. So I
It's
just
so
had
badass.
fun
I
with
think
it.
we're gonna
You guys can. I don't know if you guys put graphics up on the screen.
Yeah, no, I can put it up.
Yeah, just like a screenshot of that.
gonna
I'm really
remaster
proud of
that.
the studio setup, but the problem is, so I got a lot of views on the Rumble when they were coming out, but I'm gonna be remastering them and re-releasing them because the sound. These microphones are amazing.
Yeah.
The sound quality.
Because you're recording on a laptop.
Yeah, because we're recording on a laptop. So we need to fix the sound. So we could segue into that.
Vito
So I've got 2 production companies right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be launching a show out of Hollywood, and I've A-list celebrity guests and things called Public Enemy.
Yeah, Spark Entertainment.
Yep, it's gonna be Elysium Media and Vito Glazer's Media, and out of Howie Mandel Studios.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we have in the contract is to remaster those episodes and re-release them.
It's so epic. If you watch these, it's like I'm like, I'll watch them. I want to see. I was very intrigued.
Yeah.
You can't stop watching. It's so entertaining.
Yeah. I would recommend
they're
anyone
secretly and all of the terrorists
Yeah.
are together in one area of the jail.
How
Why
long did
would
it
they
take
put
for them to
them
find out?
together? It's so
So
ridiculous.
How did
We
they
were-
find out that you guys were recording that?
They didn't. I don't think they found
think
out
they
until
found
we
out.
started,
Did you just
releasing
straight
them.
Just straight up upload it?
Well, I go to federal prison, and it was during election season, and I was going to get out right before the election, but I wanted to try to influence the election a little. So I wanted to release those interviews. I was like, man, we're the terrorists that but we're not. If you see the damn episodes, and it's life stories. I mean, they're really good. And I would recommend if anybody wants to watch Brandon Fellows, the interview with Brandon Fellows, you'll laugh till you die. I mean, that guy is ridiculous. He taught himself law just so he could troll the federal government in court for J6 every time, every quote. The media wasn't taking the
What did
bait,
he
so he
with
started
Fauci?
saying crazier things and doing to get attention.
What
you
did
got
he
to
do with
troll.
Fauci? Wasn't that his?
Oh, well, that was later. Yeah, so he sat behind Fauci when he got released. Fauci was doing a congressional hearing, and he was testifying, and Brandon was right behind Fauci making faces and stuff like boo-hoo.
I think you met him at CPAC. I'm not sure with Enrique. He was right there with us.
I remember him.
Yeah, Brandon
Brandon
was wearing
Fellows.
the ice jacket, the
He's
ice,
such a good guy.
the ice windbreaker.
You guys
Yeah,
are
he's
all,
funny.
You guys are all good guys.
So I
Started uploading them and publishing
so I had a friend put together a little thing intro I had pictures and things that I wanted in there, so they had to search on the internet, get the pictures, and I had my voice speaking. So I had 2 minutes to speak. I felt like I had a minute and a half, 2 minutes before every episode to say something. So same thing, same intro in every episode, and I really made an appeal to Black America. You know, I feel like there's no more natural MAGA, natural middle fingers to the system in this country than Black Americans, in my opinion.
That's why you
the
did
system,
DJ
the federal. Yeah, I have an alter ego called DJ Jerome. That's a long story. It's a J6 related thing. Oh, right, baby. You know, it's coming to you hot and bothered with the spirit of the founding fathers. You know, just weird. I was weird. It's a long story.
He did
I did like a radio broadcast from jail. A weird, creative way we were able to get some kind of
from jail for the J6ers.
I did.
That's great.
Yeah, millions for over 150 J6ers. I helped raise money from jail. I was locked up
For their defense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So directly into their own bank accounts. I didn't grift a dollar from it. Didn't go through me. Didn't go through a nonprofit I had. I would help them plug their own Give Send Go accounts so they could I mean, we get these are all the family men, and you take the main breadwinners. These are all main breadwinners of family men. Like you take them out of the household. Now their wife has 3 jobs, and they're having to sell their horses and whatever they have.
What about Justice for All? What about that?
Oh, you are just jumping all over the map. I
don't want you to forget.
I'm getting whiplash. She goes from topic to jump. I have ADHD. I'm used to it.
That was in the jail though.
She's So Justice for All is another thing. It's a song. So let me back up. All right, let's take a moment.
That's a Metallica song, no?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just fucking cool too. But so from day one, when we were locked up, we would sing the national anthem every single night at 9 p.m. And so this vigil started. Ashley Babbitt, there was 4 people killed on January 6th. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Benjamin Phillips, and Kevin Greason. Ashley Babbitt's mother, she was shot in the neck. Ashley Babbitt was in the Capitol. Everybody knows about her. A lot of people don't know the other 3.
They died outside the Capitol, right?
I witnessed Roseanne Boylan being murdered right in front of me, and that's why my 10 seconds of violent involvement, trying to get the cops off of her, off the other unconscious bodies, caused me to get 51 months in prison. That's why I was arrested. Right at the mouth of the tunnel on the Lower West Terrace on the inaugural stage. And but Ashley Babbitt's mother, Mickey, we call her Mama Mickey, she felt called to come to DC and set up a vigil outside the DC jail every single night at 7 to like 9:30. And it was a group of patriots, whether it was like a dozen, couple dozen, or a few hundred, because like when there was the events or things in town, people would come to the vigil. And they would have several live streamers live stream it. And we would call Mickey's phone and talk to them on a loudspeaker. They would put us on a loudspeaker so we could talk to the crowd and talk to the live streamers. So we were being broadcast on the internet. It was a weird platform. So for the first 6 months of that was done for over 2.5 years until everyone was released from the DC jail, till the pardons came in. So for the first 6 months of it, I organized the guys to get on the phone to talk to the crowd. And I did it as kind of like a radio bride. I tried to make it fun. So I was DJ Jerome. It was so I was did this black DJ voice, and I'd had like a 2-minute intro where I would kind of introduce, and then I would put the Patriots on the phone, because if you don't have somebody organizing it from inside, everybody wants to speak on one night, and then there's nobody else to speak the other nights. So if we just pace ourselves, have 2 guys speak a night, 2-3 guys speak a night, we could space it out where we could keep this going. So I would make jokes, do rap. I'd spend hours every day writing raps and rhymes and jokes, news, topical news jokes, related to things that were, going on. And that's the DJ Jerome reference she made. But at 9 o'clock, we would sing the national anthem, and they would sing it with us on the loudspeaker. We would call in and we would sing. They would hear us singing. And so Trump heard about this about 1.5 years, 2 years in, that we were singing the national anthem. He's called the vigil. He would call the vigil. I literally was making jokes about Lindsey Graham having no testicles. And then because we were waiting for Trump's call. So I'm call Mickey, and they're like, but they tell me, hey, you're going to do your thing, run your show. But as soon as Trump calls in, we're going to, no offense, but we're cutting you off, and we're going to put Trump on because he's supposed to call, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm doing my jokes about Lindsey Graham has no testicles and stuff. Oh yeah, baby, Lindsey Graham, no nuts. I didn't say it like that, but it was much funnier. I actually think I have the episode. It was September 13th, I believe. I remember that date. I know. And so he calls in, And he's just telling Mickey, we're with you guys. We love you, you know? And it's like, it was so amazing. So all the live streamers got that footage of him calling Mickey's phone and him addressing us at the vigil. It was really cool. But so we get told that there's they want to record us in a recording studio. So 20 of us gather around a phone and we sing to the other side of the phone is a recording studio. I believe it was in Florida. And we were told it was going to be a secret celebrity guest mashup. Like, you know, we thought it was going to be like, you know, Kid Rock or John Rich or someone. We didn't realize it was going to be Trump himself went to the recording studio and sang the Pledge of Allegiance. So we did the Star Spangled Banner. He did the Pledge of Allegiance and they mash it together. It's called Justice for All. It went #1 on Billboard charts.
I was
like
on
beat out
Kiss
Miley
FM.
Cyrus and Taylor Swift. And Trump was, you know how he is. He was like trolling Taylor Swift and because his song went #1 and he's like, ha, beat
honestly,
Taylor
John,
Swift.
I was in tears when I first heard that on the radio in LA on Kiss FM, the #1 channel, Ryan Seacrest. They played it.
Yeah.
And I go, this is amazing. What is this? It's the prison. That's the first
The
time
J6 prison
I was
choir,
like,
they call us.
how on the planet, where are these people?
With
When I
President
met
Trump.
John, and for some reason, it was like we were singing at CPAC. It was the first time I met him. He actually went and walked another lady to her room. But they started singing at 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my God, I get to sing with the J6ers. I thought it was all the J6ers had sang this. I didn't know it was like a group of people. So I'm like singing it, whatever. I was doing the whole thing. Is it Oh Say Can You See, or is it the other one? Yeah, it's Oh Say Can You See, okay.
No,
National Anthem.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm singing it all happy, and I have a video of this. All of a sudden, I'm thinking, okay, so all these people recorded this. This is them. Yeah. And then one guy goes, no, it's like a small group. I never asked John about this. Yeah. Like 6 months into Bart Shively, we'll talk about Bart.
Yeah, Bart.
He's getting a Billboard Award. Everyone that sang on that song gets a Billboard Award because it went #1.
Yep.
Bart, who died, he had gone to Camp Lejeune.
Hopefully we can have that gala at the new ballroom they're building at the White House.
Oh, that would be amazing. Where
to
they
present us with our Billboard Award.
But
When do you get it?
The only president in history that ever won a Billboard Award, #1.
Well, Bart,
That's amazing.
Do that at the ballroom, right?
Yeah.
The new
We need to
ballroom
have it
should
at the
be
ballroom,
great
yes.
event
Yeah.
for
I'm
that.
so for that ballroom, yes.
Yeah.
But Bart died.
Wait, when are you supposed to get the billboard?
So they have them printed,
Yeah.
but they just like, there's like, you know, they do a gala, like a ceremony, like a
Gotcha.
big dinner where
Yeah.
originally it was going to be at the Trump golf course or Trump International in Bedminster, whatever.
Yeah.
But then it was going to happen right before the election.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, you know what? If we just push it, maybe because our family, we're getting tickets for our family to spend the weekend there. Why not wait? And if Trump wins, then we could just be there ourselves to get the Billboard Award instead of sending family in our stead because we're all in prison.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to talk about Bart though because
Yeah,
Bart
Bart.
in prison he had cancer. They didn't even give him treatment.
Camp Lejeune, the contaminated water, the Marine base, that's how he got cancer. Back in the 80s, he was stationed at Camp Lejeune. So the government gave him the cancer, and then he gets arrested for J6, and they mistreat his cancer treatments in the
when he gets
DC
out of
jail.
prison,
Then he dies.
5 months out.
Yeah.
So I remember, during
Wow.
the first 5 months, he's
Yeah.
like, this guy, he's dying, this and that. He'd call up all the time and talk to John.
Yeah, Bart.
And it was so sad, you guys. At his funeral, they gave him his Billboard Award.
Mm-hmm.
So he had his Billboard Award by the coffin, and it was such a cool thing because it's like what, silver or platinum? I don't know if it went platinum, but it's like a platinum record, and then it has like the song and everything. And I thought it's so sad that this man gave his life for the government, didn't get his treatment while serving the 4 years because he was at January 6th. Yeah. Bart Shively, he got his Billboard Award, and but he had to die to get that award at his funeral. And when he went up to, it's actually on your page, when he went up to do his speech, everyone's like, oh God, what's John going to say?
Yeah, because I'm a wild
At
man.
the very end of his speech, Bart was a great guy, all this stuff. At the end, he's like, fuck the feds.
Yeah, the feds, the
And
feds
I was
killed
like,
Bart.
yes, John. Everyone's like, oh my, oh goodness.
Yeah, they love it
But
though.
they killed him. They killed him.
Yeah.
They didn't give him
They
his
did.
treatment. It's just unbelievable what these guys went through. And Bart, rest in peace. He seemed like a great guy.
No, he was a gentle
Such a
giant,
handsome
man.
dude. I can't believe it.
So you guys talked about CPAC a little bit. I just want to shift the conversation because I remember I saw you guys at
Let's
CPAC.
talk, shall we?
There's something happened there. You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, so I was called on stage by Rob Snyder at the end of the day on one of the days.
Such a fun day.
He called me up. He was talking to us. He was kind of back and forth with us a few times because that's how comedians do comedy clubs.
Yeah.
So we're like, and I did you can do it. Like he asked the audience a question. I said, you can do it because that's his thing. And he looks at me, says something. She says something to me. We're laughing,
and
right?
I go, sing for us.
So,
I'm going to sing for you.
He asks who could be called on, who's coming up next. And he looks toward us and towards the production team or whatever, the backstage it's just on a little rope right here. And nobody answers him. So I say Jon Mellis, and he says Jon Mellis, and then they don't answer him for another minute or so. He says, and then he says yeah, we'll be coming up shortly.
Come on up,
and
guys.
then after about a minute of them still not answering him, he said, all right, Jon Mellis, come on up. He said it a second time.
And I go, yeah, baby.
And I'm like, because
the
first time he said it, I knew it was like a joke and it was light. But the second time he says it, I'm like, man, he's like, yeah, he thought about it.
And
they
John,
didn't answer.
He had his Barabbas coat.
Yeah,
I go, baby, put your coat on. I was so happy.
So I go to get on stage, and a security guard is like, no. And I'm like, but I'm Jon Mellis. And he just called Jon Mellis, but he's like, no. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm laughing, having a good time. I go step aside.
I didn't know what happened.
And then about a minute later, CPAC security comes up to me and says, we got to walk you out. I'm like, well, that's gay. But I walk, I don't resist or anything. And I
didn't know this was happening.
And then when I get outside, they say, we got to have your credentials. We need your CPAC pass and can't come back. And I'm like, well, that's gay too.
Well, I want to mention the fact that I said Rob comes off stage right away. Like he leaves the stage. So I'm thinking he's going to go up. So I talked to Rob. I'm thinking my baby over here is going to go up there and wow the audience and say hey or whatever and leave. And here comes Rob Schneider, and I go, hey, I go say hi to Jamie Kennedy. So I'm filming him because I book a lot of artists for Jamie's show, including this amazing guy right here, Jamie Kennedy. We love you. And I said, say hi to Jamie Kennedy. I'm going to show him this video and that you said hello. And we give Rob a jacket that this amazing lady made that's all like glittery and it has like MAGA on the back. Probably has Rob's name on it or something. So we're presenting him this jacket. Everything's positive. Everything's great. And I go, where's John? I'm taking pictures with Rob and a group of people. And I don't realize that he was kicked out.
Yeah.
And so I come out and I'm like, what happened? He's like, yeah, they threw me out of here. And they took, what happens now after that? They actually removed the badge, which.
Yeah, so it just said, they removed my badge. And then that night, I get word from my friend at Real America's Voice. That's the network that I was at being called on stage. That I'm fine. It was just for the day. I come back tomorrow. She talks to Rob Schneider and a security guy also the next morning.
How did that happen? That's a funny.
What's that?
How did that happen? That I saw Rob. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, you saw Rob the next morning.
I'm going to work out, and I'm in the elevator and talking to this little busboy dude who's delivering food to rooms or whatever. I don't know what they're called, a server or whatever. And I go, he goes, how are you doing, ma'am? I go, oh, everything's great. I go, except for the fact last night, my guy got kicked out of CPAC. We're going to try to fix that. And there's a guy between me and the other dude. And all of a sudden, Rob Schneider comes down and goes, I'm real sorry about what happened to Jon Mellis. I'm sorry. Because he's got that voice, that Elvis voice.
Yeah.
And I go, oh my God, Rob, how we love you. What's going on? So we walk out, and he's leaving the Gaylord Hotel, which we love you guys. But he's wheeling out his little suitcase. He's got a handler with him. And here comes a guy.
No, the Gaylord sucks.
Lovely dude.
I think she's saying it sarcastically.
Yeah, fuck the
Gaylord.
I just got to put that out there.
But here comes. Well, I'm coming to that. Here comes the the head of CPAC, and also I don't want to name the head of CPAC, but he was there. He was just standing there, and then Rob's leaving, and then when one of the dudes coming to say goodbye to really nice guy from CPAC comes out, and he goes, hey, what? I go, hey, that Jon Mellis thing, what happened? Why did they take his credentials? He goes, I'm so sorry. He goes, we rolled back the tape and they thought he was drunk or something. And I go, well, that's kind of funny because he doesn't really drink much. He doesn't.
I wasn't drunk. I wasn't belligerent. Didn't drink much. But here's the other weird thing is that they serve alcohol at CPAC.
So it doesn't matter if he was. Yeah, but
I wasn't drunk.
So you were just
you serve it
doing what they were allowing to happen.
Doing exactly what we're supposed to do.
You probably had one shot the whole day. But I'll say this is that Rob was like, no, he's a cool dude. He seems like a great guy. He's like, I'm so sorry. I guess you can't be too careful with security. He's like, he goes, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. So the guy's like, no, you're not kicked out. John's cool. He said, just have him go reprint his badge today. So I went and worked out, got my hair done, spent probably about $1,200 at the spa that day. I wanted to go back. I had appointments the next day. We had been there for 3 days at this point. We had a week that we were going to be there for. And so and I'll let you tell the rest of this, but we were fine to go back in.
Yeah.
And
so when we went, We did an interview with Sparkle. Everything Sparkle on YouTube.
Susan, baby.
Yeah. She
Sparkle
beat a murder charge. It was kind of cool.
Sparkle.
But
Oh
anyway.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
Shane
yeah,
Jenkins.
next one.
Telling me
Interesting.
about this.
Shane
Yeah, I know.
Jenkins was also
I
in
always
the
think
interview.
it's a weird thing to just tell people. It's like,
Well,
I
Shane
got.
was also locked up with you, and he was in an interview with you.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Shane Jenkins, yeah, another J6er. Yeah, no, he murdered a guy one time too.
Legally,
but
though.
Legally, it was legal. It was
Our friends are
his
colorful.
mom's boyfriend that was
friends,
shot at him
heathens.
first. He shot and got the
Self-defense.
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Sounds
the
like
guy shouldn't have
self-defense.
shot
Same
at him.
with Sparkle.
Yeah. I don't know about that one,
We
but
don't know
yeah,
that
whatever.
long
I don't
story
know.
about it.
Everybody's cool. So anyway,
So we go back.
so we go
and
go back in and get my badge.
And he was wearing
after
an
the interview.
amazing Barabbas suit the next day as well. A black.
All right. Actually, I was
Scarface
wearing Andy
looking.
Dick's suit that we had gotten for Andy Dick at
That
Barabbas.
we got him from
Yeah,
Barabbas.
because it was an extra suit we had in the closet, and I was like, "We need more things to wear for the other days." And I'm like, "What about that suit?
Dude,
I
that
like it."
suit looks so good.
I look
on
like
you.
I look like an '80s coke dealer.
He looked
It was so
amazing.
cool. It was
That is
such
the
a
co-
cool
the
suit
shirt. Oh,
because it had the
God,
collar
Barabbas
on
we
top
love.
of the thing. It was just so cool. It was
So
black.
cool. So
I love it. But anyway, so you'll look at my Instagram, Patriot Wildman, and you'll see when I'm getting escorted out. So I go to print my badge, and the guy comes up, and I pull my phone out. He snatches my phone, then he grabs me, and I get my phone back. I turn it back on, and that's what you'll see on Instagram, me walking out with the security guy. And it's just weird because we were told I could come back in.
No, and Sparkle
And it's
and I were on the red
humiliating.
carpet.
I got to throw this other in there. So the I get thrown out then they take my badge again, and I'm not doing anything belligerent. I'm not resisting. I'm walking where they say walk. I'm walking. Of course, I'm talking to my camera, but the guy keeps touching me, and I'm saying it, but I'm not resisting, not belligerent, and so I go outside, and then I go to post that video. So I'm outside the security checkpoint. They're done with me. I walk over, smoke a cigarette, and post that video of me being walked out. And the Gaylord security and legit cops come
Actual
up to us,
police.
are throwing us out of the whole hotel.
Yeah.
And we're
I
like,
tried
I'm
to
like,
find
well,
the
how
guy
is
from
this
earlier. I could not
escalating?
find the guy.
How is, I'm not doing anything to escalate this.
Yeah.
How
And
is
no
this
one
going
had-
further?
No one
So
had anyone in charge.
so I have a lawyer.
Yeah.
He's looking into the situation at CPAC. I really, really don't feel like they could. They may surprise me, but deep down, I don't think that CPAC could sufficiently answer this or apologize enough. It was so humiliating having the police make us walk us to our room, pack our
We had to
stuff,
leave
and
the hotel.
leave the hotel. The cops, we have automatic weapons that are like
Oh, they're
right
holding
next.
guns?
They have automatic rifle
Trying to pack my
like,
underwear.
standing
I felt like
there
Melania.
looking like we're terrorists, because they got the cops that have regular guns, but then there's those like militarized guys that have the big
Yeah.
guns, and they're over there with us. So it's like it's
Well, I
just
wanna
and,
say-
and
I
this
wanna-
is
I
and
wanna
wait
say
this
one
is
thing.
let me finish this real quick. So there's this my world, the conservative world, MAGA world. This is CPAC. This is a place where I'm networking and meeting people and doing my thing, and these are my friends. And you're humiliating me like this, and my girlfriend, she's crying, humiliating us in front of our crowd. The lost financial investments that we made to be there, the networking that we were doing, the projects that we had that we were going to do there that we didn't get to do because we got thrown out. I mean, there were several things
He
that were
was booked on
screwed up.
shows. They didn't
Yeah,
care.
it's just
They
it
had
puts
no
a whole knock-on effect, a whole a domino effect on things that we were doing in finance. It hurts us financially, and then the humiliation. So I want to sue the shit out of those motherfuckers, and I want to do it loud, and I want them to really apologize. Not just I want if they come to So here's where we're at. I'm not happy with the situation with CPAC. I'm not happy with the Gaylord. The Gaylord has advised us that they're leaving the investigation and the final decision up to CPAC investigation. So I have a lawyer who's communicating with CPAC. They're doing their internal investigation to find out what happened. From what I hear so far is that they're trying to figure out who exactly made the call to throw me out, because that's not what was supposed to happen.
And they said that
Yeah.
person might
So
be
that I
fired.
wasn't supposed to be thrown out
Right.
is from what I gather from the information I'm hearing from my lawyer. It seems like their investigation is trying to figure out where in the chain did they throw
Who
me
made
out.
that decision?
Well, I
Yeah,
wanna
because I
say
wasn't
something. Let me
Real
have a
America's
chance
Voice
to talk about
and the Real America's Voice security did not want to throw me out.
Yeah.
They were fine
I
with
want to
it.
have one chance to say something. He says, when I was trying to find, I finally, Sujan and I are on the red carpet, like, yay, and posing. And I look over, John's being escorted. I go, what the fuck? So I started out very calm. I was like, okay, let's find the guy. Let's find the dude that said it was cool. He was like the head of like celebrities or whatever. And I couldn't remember his name. But I went to the desk of like 50 people. There were so many people at the CPAC desk. I think they're volunteers though. They're like, we don't know who that is. I'm like, he's all over the place. I go, but he's in charge of, I guess, celebrities and important people. Matt Gaetz, he was there with Matt Gaetz, was there with Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
Richard Grinnell. They're all amazing. We loved all of them, by the way. I know you were
Love
with
you,
them
Rick.
too. But I just couldn't understand how there wasn't a person that could come out to stop this. And then finally, there was a guy that came out that we didn't recognize. He looked like another security person that I guess they said, well, he's the guy. And I remember the police officer saying to me, well, if you're so important, if you guys are such big shots, because I wasn't saying we're such big shots, but I was like, this is a J6 Patriot, has already gone through too much in his life. I'm a talent manager. We're here to shed light on, not wanting to be communists and, the Iran thing. We were there with Persians for Trump. We were there to support everybody at CPAC. Why were we turned on? Why? Just come out
I
and
know
fix
why.
it. Come out and fix it. And then the hotel has banned us for a year from the
Wow,
Gaylord
a whole
properties.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why we lost money. Not only that, we have sponsors. I want to throw this out there too. If anyone wants to get involved with our movement, they can go to his website and sponsor, donate. Let me
Repeat
tell you
his
something.
website again.
It's
WeAreGoodMen.com.
important because, guys, in our group, in our MAGA movement, we need to support each other. It doesn't matter if we look like Charlie Kirk or not. We love Charlie. I rest in peace, Charlie. But not all of us are those conservative people. Now, Rob Schneider's flashy. I work with a lot of comedians, Jamie Kennedy, Andy Dick. We have a lot of people that are fun, wild people. Why do we have to get treated differently? I think that, I hate to say this, but I think that John intimidates some of these people
Well,
for no reason.
any establishment resists the rebel spirit. The establishment resists the rebel spirit. But if your movement is based on the rebel spirit, you need to be a little bit more lenient with your criteria of acceptable, because there's going to be people that get on my case about look, I smoke weed, I drink a little bit, but I smoke cigarettes. I'm a kind of a I have fun. I feel like that our movement, our coalition could use a little bit more sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I feel like, I have a show I'm launching. I have several projects I'm working on, but I like the middle finger spirit of rock and roll, and not being controlled by a system or an establishment or some kind of thing, an authority. And it's important. And
Any country we go to, by the way, if he has the MAGA hat, or not, I mean, it could just be him without the MAGA hat. They somehow get in the conversation that who he is, what he's been through. They love it. Everywhere in Europe we've gone, aside from maybe a couple of weirdos.
So what I'm gonna say is that
but they love
CPAC,
him.
so
They
CPAC,
love him.
so CPAC, I feel like they made a decision to find any reason to throw me out possible. And as soon as that one thing happened, they were like, they took their opportunity to get rid of me.
They've done it to other friends of ours. They did to Enrique as well.
Because of the same reason.
Yep.
Because they can't control us. They can't control me.
They've done it to
They
Jake,
want
they've done it to him.
their anointed. They don't want the cool kids to be the ones that are uncontrollable.
Yeah.
They want. I love Nick Shirley. I love what he's doing. He kicks
special.
butt. But with CPAC, they want. He's their special little anointed. That's who they want to be. I'm not going to follow their rules. I'm not going to speak the way they want me to speak. I'm not going to pretend.
You didn't do anything wrong at all. I don't.
That's
get that.
exactly the thing, is that I
Because
did.
you look cool. I don't understand.
Because they don't want the attention on anyone else but who they deem to be cool. Or if
The one cool thing
if I kept my
I
mouth
know he
shut,
loves is he showed me some of the footage because did you realize your nipple was out?
Yeah.
And I go, that's not true. And I
We
look
were
at-
in
Well, I
with Rob
zoom in
Schneider.
with
Her
Rob
nipples
Schneider,
out in the
and I go,
picture.
oh my God. And I'm pretty wild.
She's a
but
playmate.
My God dang
Nipples,
nipple
no
was
big
sticking.
deal.
I go, maybe that's why they kicked us out. No, but the funny thing was people were calling him, did Rob Schneider just call you up on stage? It was the most epic moment.
Oh
of
yeah,
that
no,
whole
I'm being
thing.
so while I'm
It's a
being from right
hilarious
before I
story,
saw
yeah.
you, right before I saw you when I did that little
Yeah, because I was
saw
walking
Dennis
out and I
after?
saw you making the video. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And
So
you were
right
so
before
great that
I
you
saw
saw
you,
me.
yeah,
That
right
was so
before I
awesome.
saw you, I'm being escorted out, and while I'm being walked out for Rob Schneider calling me on stage, my phone's blowing up. And even someone called me while I was with you. Like people were calling me like, I'm watching live. And did Rob Schneider just call you on stage? Like, yeah, it's true. So it's kind of cool.
I'm just mad though. The next we went to another hotel and luckily Shane was with us. We had some
Yeah, we had to say,
cowboys.
hey, look, you guys think you ruined the party, Gaylord, you gay Gaylord people.
We brought some
and
party
CPAC, you think you ruined the party. We had way more fun and way less sleep where we went.
But can I just say one thing that I was upset
Let me
about?
just tell you.
I had spa appointments, and he knows this. I had probably spent about $5,000 at the spa in 3 days.
Oh, God.
I had more appointments to go. I was more mad about that than I was like,
You can't transfer it to a year from now?
Dude,
No.
so one of the
I swear to God, we
hairstylists
lost all
at the Gaylord, she made friends with her, and her like man
an
is like
amazing
a
job on
owner
my
at some fancy, like some club.
Yeah.
And we were gonna go clubbing or something.
Yeah,
and
she
like,
couldn't
so
talk
she
to
now
me
she's
after
not allowed
that.
to talk to her
because
anymore.
I left my charger at the spa, and one of the cops goes, I'll go get it. You can't go in there. I go, fine, go get my charger.
They told the
She
lady.
can't even hang out with you outside?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
said if you talk to them, you will
Gaylord.
be fired.
They put the gay in
Sorry,
Gaylord,
girl.
don't
I
they?
love Jen. She did
Wow.
a great job on my hair. Oh my god. But
Doesn't
yeah, that's
sound
how they
it
treat
sounds
us.
more gay than free.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
Yeah. Definitely.
But Trump loves him. Trump loves us. And let me tell you something. That man, Donald J. Trump, pardoned these guys on the first day in office.
Yeah.
All of them. And a few of them that got commuted, we've now, like with Zach Reel and some things, you met Zach.
Yeah.
We have now, I think we had a hand in it. We got him on Greg Kelly and some other shows, which I think he had been on before, but we got him recently. He was fully pardoned after that. He got his benefits
No,
back.
not pardoned, but the federal government dropped their case. So
Thank you.
After CPAC?
Thank you.
So
Yes.
1,500 pardons, but there's 12 that were commuted, not pardoned. Those are the handful of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers that were charged with seditious conspiracy. So it was 12 of them, and they were commuted, which is weird. Enrique Tarrio, the chairman of the Proud Boys, former chairman, was given 22 years in prison, and he was fully pardoned. They gave him a pardon. He's the top guy
Yeah.
of both organizations. Like he was the top of the tippy top. Given 22 years, he got his pardon.
Because Trump's
But
like,
the
he
other,
was on 60 Minutes.
the other, no,
I'm
no.
joking.
It's so the other 4 of the seditious 5 we call the Proud Boys
Yeah.
were given commuted. But he was pardoned because he wasn't even in D.C. on January 6th. He wasn't even there. I mean, I don't know why he was pardoned, not the other guys, but he was given 22 years in prison and he wasn't even there.
I'm glad he was.
That's
but
crazy.
Joe Biggs now Joe Biggs also got
People
his
ask him how
benefits.
his like J6 story, and he's like, we were in the jail, and he would be, it's like, tell us, like, man, I wish I went to J6 and like punched a cop or something, because I don't have any cool story. All of us have cool stories, and he doesn't have any cool
wasn't even
story,
there.
and he's getting 22 years. He's like, I might as well have went and had a cool story or something.
By
But
the
I
way,
wasn't even there.
That reminds me of a story. Wasn't there this kid that turned in his dad for being? Did you ever meet that guy?
Guy Reffitt.
God.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was locked up with him for several years. Guy Reffitt. Yeah. He was, his gay son was lefty communist. Given, I think they even left-wing organizations or like
you
media gave him
imagine?
money. I think they paid him to
Yeah.
like interview and stuff. And yeah, he turned on his dad. Like, and it's just, it's like, what did his dad do? His dad walked up some steps, got shot a bunch of times with like bean bags and sprayed and things, and then left. That was
Yeah,
it. He didn't
that's-
do
And
anything else.
his son ratted on him.
That
And then
is
he got
just
like,
too
dude, I
much,
think he got,
man.
I want to say he got like 100 months sentence. I mean, he got like 7 years in prison or whatever. Like, for what? Because he went, literally walked up some steps, got shot with bean bags and pepper balls or whatever the fuck, and that was it. He left basically. It's because he was outspoken.
Yeah.
In the media, like on podcasts, and He doesn't hide his patriotism or his love of freedom. And that's the thing. They wanted to silence everybody for even speaking up or saying, just being a Proud Boy. I was locked up, but Proud Boys all over the country were you gotta be careful now. Yeah. Just being a Proud Boy. And you're like, it's a pro-Western patriotic men's drinking club. Yeah. It's literally, we love America. Literally, we love the Constitution.
What does this mean? West is the best?
The West is the best. But for me, I honestly, growing up, it was Made You Look.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I use it now. Yeah, it's West is the best, but it's also to those lefties. That's Made You Look. Yeah. So they're always looking for it. They're like, there, he's doing it. He's a racist. Yeah. It's like, dude, the chairman of the Proud Boys is black. How the fuck am I a racist? It doesn't make sense.
Why do they think it's a racist thing? Why do they?
Well, it started with Hillary. She was trying to label everything. She labeled Pepe a Nazi symbol. Exactly. She labeled this was also the OK symbol.
Yeah, okay, so, it used to be OK at one point in history.
I've done that for years. Like I use it for OK.
In Italy, this means something else, though. Don't do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean.
They do this too in Italy.
Not do it more, fellas. Do it more, everybody.
And this means something else.
Yeah. Do all the things, people. Curse the
Jon,
system.
Michelle, thank you so much for coming by. This was a great conversation. How can people find you guys?
So it's Michelle Farrell is my main Instagram, Michelle Farrell Management.
Michelle Farrell Management.
And my dog, Admiral Peabody, is also a Trumper. But Spencer Pratt has been noticing my pooch. He's actually for pets. Vote for Spencer for mayor, please.
Spencer.
Yes.
And but it's Michelle Farrell, and then of course Jon's.
Patriot Wildman.
Yeah, I love how the Democrats and typical liberals, they love Spencer Pratt, and I'm just want to encourage that because Spencer's just he's independent. He's running independent, and he's not associated with any side. I love that he's doing that because and then the liberals out there are really. It's one thing we can unite behind is Spencer Pratt. Yeah, I love that. So I want to encourage that.
Get on
everybody
Jamie
left,
Kennedy.
right,
Come on, Spencer.
Can rally behind Spencer Pratt because he's a good guy.
Kennedy, let's encourage him, please.
Hollywood loves Jamie. But anyway, you can find me at wearegoodmen.com, Patriot Wildman on Instagram. But my links for my Rumble channel, I have a lot of videos and things we talked about are on the wearegoodmen.com. We Are Good Men on Rumble. But yeah, wearegoodmen.com.
If anyone wants to get involved,
and if you want to get involved, if you want to get involved and donate, and you know what, if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. If you're stressed, if you're tight, don't worry about it. But I want to make a direct appeal to people who do have the funds to play with. Mm-hmm. If you want to send a message, if you want someone to be your middle finger, I love doing that. It's my favorite thing. I go to rallies, I go to left-wing rallies, I go to right-wing rallies. I do it all the time. Right wing is more traditional kind of way I would handle it, but I go to left wing ones and I troll. I have fun. There was a May Day protest. I don't know if we're going over time.
Dude, that was
just
amazing.
May 1st. I went to this. They had thousands of people bust in. It was all the teachers unions with different colored shirts, crowds, and it was like the teachers unions and students. They were trying to tell them not to go to school, and it was thousands of people show up. And there's this big truck with the big sound system leading the rally, the march, from MacArthur Park to City Hall, and so I get up for there's a cop car and another car and this big truck, it's like a stage, but they got the music blaring from it, and so I walk up at the front of the parade, just like giving the West is the best symbol, to all the fucking people taking pictures.
Oh, whose hat is this, by the way? People have been asking me about this hat.
Oh, this is Enrique Tarrio's brand. It's RWDS, Right Wing Death Squad. So God bless America.
And he gave it to me, which was funny. And Jon goes, you can't be wearing that hat.
It's a manly hat.
He's been wearing it.
But it's a man's hat.
I also want to say, if you do want to get involved with his show, Public Enemy, you will get producer credit. And
so you can get my email address is at the bottom of my website. wearegoodmen.com.
And they can donate directly to yours.
And then if you want to donate directly just to the cause, to the movement, because we do, it does take a lot to travel, speak to groups of people around the country, and then, things like that. Go to wearegoodmen.com and use the buttons at the top. We would really appreciate your support. Michelle Farrell Management.
Michelle Farrell Management page is also a good.
She actually, for me, so she represents writers, directors, producers, artists, models, and also, so those are people she gets
people running for office.
Well, they pay her to represent her. But the J6ers, the handful of J6ers that she represents, like me, she actually does pro bono. So if you donate to me, it's actually able to help her management. She does it for free.
We need more J6ers to come out and do books and things like that. But I was also going to say for Dennis, who promotes you the most?
Oh yeah, you
Like,
do.
every
She's
time.
always on. Yeah, I do appreciate that. she shares all my stuff on
Every
Instagram. I'm banned on
time.
Twitter, so not on Twitter, but on Instagram I do see that.
Every
and
time.
I do appreciate that,
every time.
Michelle.
And I don't do it for everyone. I mean, I literally.
That's because he has tattoos.
I do it for about 5 people.
He's
hiding
One
those
of
from
the
you guys
5.
right now.
I do it for about 5 people that are not like under my management umbrella, but for sure, if I believe in it, I will do what I can for that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Vote for Dennis; he's amazing.
Michelle, John, both great.
you.
Both great people. Michelle, you'll see
Hey,
her.
vote for
soon.
Dennis, by the way, man. I'm
Yes,
telling you, this guy, he's not some ideological one side, left side, right side. He's a pro-freedom, pro-America.
100% liberty first.
Yes.
Well, you'll see Michelle and I in the Glenn Greenwald debate.
Surrounded. We
Surrounded.
did a good job, man.
Yeah.
I wish they would have put Dennis up
No,
more.
she crushed it that day. I
It was
had
Glenn
a little bit.
Greenwald that day.
It was Glenn Greenwald.
Oh
yeah.
my God, you didn't tell me that. That's
I had a bit of the flu, so I was a bit under the weather that day.
Oh, you did a
but it
fabulous
was,
job, dude.
Well, thank you.
When he
She-
does the flu, he looks like the best. I'm like, how? But
well, she crushed it. You absolutely
Thank
crushed
you
it.
so much. I appreciate that, and I'm so proud of you.
Look at that.
Aw.
I'm proud of this
the
guy.
playmate and the Proud Boy.
I'm
Look
so
at
proud
that.
of our new company is going to be Proud Bunny Productions. but
Proud Bunny Productions.
Anyway,
Isn't
we
that
love
cool?
you guys. Let's go Playboy. We love Playboy.
Yes.
Here. I'm going to give them a plug.